Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Gland Bodybuilding Mountain. And today I'm going to talk to you about lifting heavy. And a lot of you guys out there might assume, falsely of course, that I never lift heavy or below certain rep ranges. For the most part, that's true. For the most part, I just really listen to my body and how it's feeling, and then I make decisions based on that. That's always the first priority. So if your body feels like it's broken down or things aren't working quite right, that's not the time to test your might, as they would say in the video game Mortal Kombat, right? That's not the time to really challenge yourself in the heavy tension side of things. But if things are feeling pretty good, once in a while, breaking the threshold of the heavyweight barrier is a good thing. So say you even have to go down to 3 or 4 reps in a certain exercise, compound mostly. I would not recommend this with isolation movements like lateral raises or bicep curls or even triceps and stuff. I would recommend it with a compound exercise like bench press or say you're doing deadlifts or squats or something like that. Although with squats and deadlifts, I would say to be a bit more careful there because there's a lot of moving parts in those exercises. And if something goes wrong, it can be quite disastrous. But one thing I would say is that depending on what your weak link is right now will depend on whether you go to the next step in hypertrophy or not. And sometimes it is the nervous system and how well it can fire everything. And that really gets addressed with powerlifting type movements or lifting in the heavier areas that your body's not necessarily acclimated to. So if you're repping out all the time, so say you're doing, a weight that you can do 10 reps with or 12 reps with, and you're noticing that you're never getting stronger, you're never going anywhere, then that would be the time it would be good to once in a while introduce maybe a set of 5 reps or 4 reps or whatever in a workout, maybe doing 1 or 2 sets like that. Make sure you have a spotter though, of course. And then when you come back to training again, you'll notice that the moderately heavy weight that you were doing before will feel lighter. And this can help you with breaking through certain plateaus. Now, the mistake a lot of people make is that they go heavy, they feel great, and then they go heavy all the time. And then, of course, they end up hitting a wall and getting injured. And that would be the mistake. So as much as doing a set of 4 reps or 5 reps can be effective short term, if you do it all the time, it might work against you. And of course, this is going to be based on the individual and what your particular constitution is showing you at that time. So as an example, lately I've been doing 275 or 295 on the barbell bench quite regularly. And I noticed I was not necessarily moving up in endurance or moving up in, let's just say, ease of groove. It felt like I wasn't necessarily moving forward. So I thought to myself, it would be good to shatter this plateau and test how heavier weight feels and then come back down again and see what happens. So what I did was a workout with 315, and then I went to 335, and then I went to 345, and then I gave myself several days rest, and then I went to doing lighter chest with 225 again, just to rep out and recover. Because this is the other thing people do is they do heavy weight, but then they do it too much. And what I do is I'll do heavy weight and then I'll do a lighter workout to pump blood in there to help the recovery and to keep the groove. And then I will come back to a moderately heavy weight again, even if it's a bit lighter. So to be clear, what I did was a heavy workout, then I went to a lighter workout, and then 2 days after that, I went back to a moderately heavy workout. So the first workout that was heavy, I went to 345. And then in this last workout I just did, it was 315 on the bench. And what happened was I shattered my record that I've had of recently anyway, where I did 5 reps with 315 on the bench, but this time I did 7. Now this illustrates my point. Sometimes your plateau or the barrier that you are at can be for a number of different reasons. And sometimes it's just acclimating the body to a certain tension so that the nervous system can calibrate to it. And then when you go back to the lighter weight, you are able to handle that weight more easily and therefore experience better hypertrophy from it. So a lot of times the mistake people make though is that they will do a heavy workout, feel great, maybe shatter a record or feel really good that they lifted in a new territory. And then they go back there all the time. And then of course they hit a wall there too, because now the nervous system isn't the weak link. Now you're having other weak links pop up. And in worst case scenario, it's tissue weak links, such as you're getting too much fascial and ligament and tendon breakdowns happening and you're not recovering. And then you therefore get an injury or a bursitis or inflammation or something like that. But the fact is that sometimes challenging yourself with a heavier weight, even if you're doing a partial rep, it can help you blast through certain territory and help you get more gains in the long run, strength and hypertrophy wise. It's just that you want to listen to the body and not do it too much. You don't want to do it like the guys I see at my gym. There's a guy, and he'll laugh if he sees this. I don't even know if he watches my stuff. Most of these young guys know everything, so they don't watch my stuff, right? They're on Instagram, they know everything. So the bottom line is this guy tried his maximum bench press during the day and then came back and retried his maximum bench press that night. And then every, 3 or 4 days, he's trying his maximum bench press. Now, that is a recipe for disaster for most people. It is definitely something I would never recommend for anyone. And most people that do that end up with an injury at some point. And that is just a law of forces, right? That's just how they work. But again, I'm not a purist, right? I'm not like one of those guys that says never or not you. I don't usually say never. Once in a while I say never. There's something funny about that statement. But anyway, the bottom line is that sometimes it's good to go into heavier territory, even if you're doing a lower rep range, as long as everything feels okay. You got a spotter or you've got your safety rack in place and stuff to make sure you're not put in a compromised position. And then from there, you will shatter that strength plateau or help yourself find a better groove and also hit those fast twitch fibers quite efficiently, right? When you're putting balls out effort, there's a lot of fast twitch fibers that really come into play in that moment.
Mountain.
So thanks a lot for watching. If you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalgalantbodybuilding.com, and thanks to the Patreon supporters, and take care for now.